The Sports Station. Here's Sports Director Spencer Davidson.
Good evening. Season 6 for the Utica Comets has concluded with the team finishing their year with a win over the Syracuse Crunch in a shootout last night. Today, it was time to clear out for the offseason as the team reflected on the year that was. The Comets finished the 2018-2019 season at 34-6-2. Sixth in the North Division, missing the postseason by 8 points in the standings.
It was a frustrating year. We were in a decent place around All-Star break, and we last couple months were tough, and it was so it wasn't a lack of effort, it wasn't a lack of compete, it wasn't a lack of commitment. It's just probably the most frustrating run of games I've ever been a part of, because we were putting some really good efforts forward and just not finding ways to collect points.
The team won just 5 of its final 19 games throughout the months of March and April, getting eliminated on April 5th with 5 games still left to play.
Obviously not the finish we wanted, but to a man, everyone in our locker room battled and gave it all we got. I mean, we just weren't getting the bounces towards the end of the year and ended up going on a pretty bad skid there, which ended up hurting us. But I think as a whole, I think we competed hard every night and just didn't end up going our way.
The team's lineup was decimated down the stretch. At the most important time of the year, the Comets were forced to bring in multiple players on tryout deals, with some of their top guys out with injuries and others called up to Vancouver for the remainder of the season.
You hate when that happens. It's obviously some adversity you're going to go through every year. Obviously, you hope that it's not as a big a deficit as we had again this year. But it's good for the young guys too. I mean, they had to step up in probably a bigger role than maybe they had expected coming into the year, and it's only going to be a positive outcome for them moving forward and for us as a team next year.
With the year now over, the players are doing all they can not to dwell on the past. The ones who are set to return aren't focused on what could have been, but rather what now needs to be done heading into next year.
It definitely lights a fire under us for sure. Obviously it's going to be a longer summer than we would have hoped, but I think you're going to see guys, they'll take a couple weeks off, but then it's right back to work, getting in the gym and trying to improve. For all the young guys we have, I think it'll be good to for those guys to have a big summer and come back with confidence going into next year.
Missing the playoffs after the long grind of the regular season may be upsetting to fans, sure, but make no mistake, the players feel it just as much, if not more. So what's their message to each other as they get ready to approach the offseason?
To remember what it felt like playing these meaningless games, because we don't want that happening again. And we got next year coming, and obviously a summer ahead of us here and whatnot, but remember that feeling of packing up your bags early and not getting a chance to play in playoffs, because we don't want that happening again.
Season 7 of Utica Comets hockey brings the team and hopefully the playoffs back to the odd in October. See you then. That we will, and the team's going to look a lot different next year, as it does from every year to year. But Jamie Seifer is retiring. I had a story on him earlier today. That's on WKTV.com. You can read all about that. Reed Boucher, their leading scorer, Tanner Kiro, their second leading scorer. They're free agents. Don't know if they're going to be back. Cam Darcy and Brendan Woods, who are both in the story there, they're free agents too. They both said they want to be back, but you never know what can happen. So this team could look a lot different next year.
And then when they are back, if they are back, they can get called back up.
Yeah, which happened a ton this year. So
yeah,
we should be in for another good year next year. But hey, we gotta get through the summer to get there. So.
Yeah. Also,